Hi, and we are back here on False Count Radio. Without further ado, I have Spike TV's own Half-Pint Brawler owner, Puppet, the Psycho Dwarf, on the air. Puppet, how are you doing today?
Oh, I'm doing great, man. Enjoying life, traveling, and beating up midgets.
Beating up midgets. Now, you know, you guys are on Spike TV every Wednesday at 11 p.m. For fans that haven't checked out the broadcast, what would you say to draw them in to checking out the show?
You know what? This is what our show is. It's Little People, Big World on beer, meets hardcore midget wrestling, meets Girls Gone Wild, meets the Ozzy Osbourne all in one, baby.
That's a great way to explain it. Now, growing up, were you a wrestling fan? If so, who'd you look up to?
It's always, you know what, I was lucky enough he got me into the business. When I was growing up, I was always a big fan of Randy the Macho Man. And when I first started off coming back into the business, when we opened up the Half-Pint Brawlers back in the day, it was called Bloody Midgets. Randy got us involved with the Slim Jim Tour, and it was such an honor, and it was so much fun for me. And then I've been loving wrestling, you know, working it and doing it, and it's a great life.
Now, was wrestling your first career choice? If not, what was?
My first, no. I started off wanting to be an actor. I did a lot of stunt work out in L.A. I did a lot of stage work. You might have saw me in The Babe with John Goodman. I did some stunts for the Leprechaun movie. I joined Vinny the Jet stunt team, which done Batman Return, you know, bunch of different movies. But I just wasn't getting enough work. It wasn't thrilling enough for me. I just walked across the screen back in the day. The midgets weren't as hot back in the day. Then I ended up becoming a sidekick radio host of Man Cow's Morning Madhouse, where I was also doing stunts for him, you know, being a side character for him for a few years. Windy City Wrestling found me and said, "You've got to be a wrestler, bro," and talked me into it. And I saw that the little guys got a lot of attention during the matches, so I said, what's better to open up my own midget company and have a bunch of midgets touring around. I started the show at Sluggers right across the street from Wrigley Field 15 years ago. From day one, it was in the middle of January in Chicago. The place sold out. We had a line going around the block, standing in the freezing cold, watching us through the windows, and I knew I had a hit.
Now, would you say that your professional wrestling training was different than others due to your size?
No. When I went through the Windy City training, I was the only little guy there, and it was great. Sam just put me through the same thing everybody else was doing, man. And that way, you know, I think it was something different for him, so it was kind of like a challenge for him. But no way. We did everything that the big guys did. And the big thing about my company is I'm not disrespecting the old day wrestling. Actually, Little Cato and Beautiful Bobby D is the son of Lord Littlebrook, who was pretty much the guy that started everything in the WWE for the midgets. I didn't want to do the jokey joke stuff. I didn't want to be the clown. When we were inside inside the ring, we do everything the big guys do, but we fall further. I mean, we come off the top ropes, we do the hardcore stuff, we do, you know, the family shows, but, you know, we're in there, you know, we're athletes, and that's the thing, man. And, you know, a lot of people are protesting me because I use the word midget, or this is the way I market it. It's just a marketing tool for me. Nobody's going to come out and see little people wrestling. They're out there. When I say midget wrestling, you know exactly what my product is. So my guys are all athletes, and of course we're never going to be a professional basketball player, you know, or a baseball player. This is the way that we get our thrills through, you know, the athletics, and you know, it's something that we've always wanted to do, and we're doing it, and we're making a career out of it, and we're loving it.
You know, and that's something I wanted to touch down on was Little People of America and others protested outside of one of your guys' events in 2006. What do you think of that?
I loved it, man. You know why? What's better to get more attention? Midgets protesting with signs, passing out flyers, telling people don't come in, which makes them come in, and midgets protesting midgets. Come on, dude. That was the greatest. That was the greatest advertisement that I got on a live show right there at a live event.
I can understand why. Now, what is the independent scene in Chicago like, and is it more conducive to the midget or to a midget wrestler than other areas in the country?
No, man, we travel all over the country, my friend. As you see on the show, we went to Mexico, we go to California, we go to up and down the East Coast. We're not just centralized in Chicago. The office is in Chicago. But this is a national act. We're on the road all constantly. I'm down right now just leaving Louisiana to head to Houston. So, I mean, yeah, we're a national act, brother. We've been touring the nation for 15 years.
That's awesome. Now, my co-host, Viper, has a couple questions. So, Viper, go ahead.
Yeah, actually, I was wondering, what are your memories of your time with World Wrestling All-Stars?
Oh, they were great times. That was the first time I got to go over to Europe, and we got to go to Australia. I got to see the world with those guys, and it was really my first time on the big scale, you know, playing the bigger arenas, you know, touring with people that I grew up watching, you know, and it was a big deal for me. It was a lot of lessons and life lessons on the wrestling, and you know, because we were always, back in the day, we were bloody midgets, and we were just kind of a smaller group in the underground bars, and that really got our names out there, and it really helped my career, and I'm very grateful. And then it led me to go to TNA after that, which was awesome, and then, you know, I decided to branch off and do this Half-Pint Brawler thing, because I've always believed in this product, and here we are on Spike TV, so it's really fun for me to watch this project grow. But the WWA was a big stepping stone for me, and really got the name out there.
Awesome. Well, speaking of TNA, what are your memories of your first NWA TNA show?
First memory, we were in Vegas. No, that was the WWA. Let's see, TNA, Jeff Jarrett, just when he came up to me, because we were on the WWA together, and this was when he was first opening up the company. We went out, because I know I have over 50 radio stations, and we went out on a morning radio station tour together to help him promote his event, and I got to travel the country with him, and I've barely known him, you know, but a few months, and here I am touring with Jeff Jarrett promoting his, you know, his promotional group, and that was a real thrill for me, because, you know, I already had the radio experience, and he believed in Tio and I so much that it was a thrill. Again, another life lesson. It taught me ways to promote my event and make it bigger and better. And as an individual, I grew as you know, Randy helped me, Jeff Jarrett helped me, and all of them, you know. And it's what can I say? I'm speechless when people go out of their way for us and really believe in it. Because I think they saw that we did the regular wrestling also, and they said, wow, these guys are really, you know, they're training. These guys are wanting to start something new, evolve something with the midget wrestling. And I hope, you know, afterwards I'm done, and my legacy is that, hey, they did it for real. They did it themselves. And here we are on Spike. We're having a ball. And I know this show's a success because we're booking up to the end of the year. We're going into next year already. You can go to halfpintbrawlers.com, check our schedule out. We're nonstop touring and loving life.
Now, one of our listeners had a question that they sent in, and it was that whose idea was it for you to pull the gun on Jeff Jarrett in the early days of TNA?
Jeff. Russo.
Russo. Now, you recently made a one-night return to TNA Wrestling and announced during a match. What was that like, and what do you think of the direction that TNA is going?
You know what? It was a thrill to go back and see all the boys because I haven't seen them for, I'm going to say, 4 years, and it was great working with Tanae again. We've had a really close friendship, and Borash is a great guy, and, you know, it was just great to be back into the energy and saying hello to everybody, and, you know, they're thrilled for me, and they saw that, you know, I think they were confused when we kind of separated ways because I had to make a break and try to do something with the Half-Pint Brawlers, and but it's a thrill, and it's great. We're going to do some more cross-promotion coming up here. And, I mean, we're on the same network. We're helping each other out, and it's funny how things come in a full circle. Everything comes in a full circle, and here we are. I'm doing my own show, and I'm back on TNA promoting my event, and they're supporting me 100%. And like I said, everybody's been so great to me, so helpful, and spreading the company out. That anything they need, I'll do. And when they ask me to come back, I come back.
See, and that's an awesome way to think, too. My co-host, ECW original Gary Wolf, has a couple questions, so Gary, go ahead.
Hey, how you doing?
Great.
Love the show. I want to put you over. I think it's actually a good thing. I mean, I'm actually surprised it took so long to get you guys on. I thought there would have been something going. I guess you said you've been doing this for 15 years. You should have been on TV 10 years ago, probably, the way I look at it. And
man,
how did you?
Really appreciate that.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you. I'm sorry. How did you think about the Australia? Did you do an Australian tour and Germany tour?
Yes, we did. The Australia tour is the Australia tour is the very first one I went on after we did Vegas. Then they took us to Australia. I got to go see Sydney, Melbourne. It was awesome, man. Like I said, that's when I got to see the world, where I really never thought I was going to be able to travel that much and do stuff like that. I was younger back then, and it was a great experience. And it was great the way the people took to us, and really liked our matches. And Tio and I, we exploded it, and the arenas were going crazy. And I never had that many people watching me before that WWA.
Excellent. Yeah, I've had some experience in Australia, New Zealand, and stuff like that, and had a great time. I actually lived in Melbourne for like 9 months, and I had a blast.
Oh, okay.
What do you think about you guys eventually hitting Japan? I mean, I'm sure you guys will be over like Rover in Japan.
I've been, I'm hoping. I'm always hoping and working. I haven't been there yet. I think, a lot of people, I've had a couple of Japanese promoters, reach out to us. My announcer, Spider Nate Webb, actually has been over there several times wrestling over there. And he's always saying that we need to get over there because they're going to love us. And it'll be something different for them to see with the midgets doing the hardcore style wrestling. And, I mean, I'm always open for anything. And I would love to take the cameras over to Japan and do an episode of the Pint Brawlers in Japan, man. That would be awesome.
Yeah, because you guys will be able to do some hardcore shit over there, because Japan loves hardcore. Tables, ladders, chairs. You got the bed of nails. Yeah, you guys will have a...
They love that stuff, but we would have a blast over there.
Excellent. I have one more question for you. Your experience with TNA, I know the other guys asked you. How do you think the direction of TNA is going now than it was back when you were there?
Well, you know what? It's changed a lot. Back in the day, it was a bunch of young guys. There's some of them are still around, of course. But it was a lot of the young guys, and the X Division was the big deal back then. I see that they, when I go back, they're bringing in the Hulk Hogans and, the older, talent and taking a total different direction, it seems like. I guess their ratings are doing good, so they're doing something right. You know what I'm saying? They're getting over 1 million viewers, I heard, and I'm always a believer, man. You got to evolve into something, whatever the show is going to be, to make the people happy and get the viewers to watch and put on a good program. And of course, Hulk Hogan, man, he draws people, right? I mean, nobody can deny that, and that's just a fact. And so I see they have Bischoff over there too, trying to do some stuff over there and stuff. So, if it's working for them, Jared's got to do it. So, yeah, I mean, if it's going to pull the numbers in and it's going to get people to notice the program and God bless them.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think the whole show is now, it's like Flair and Hogan are passing torches down now. And, eventually they're bringing in ECW guys. Were you a fan of ECW? Did you ever watch the ECW show?
I was a huge fan of ECW. We just missed an opportunity. Dreamer called us a couple times when we were out on the road, and we thought we were going to get on ECW back in the day, and we were so it just never happened. I'm still a huge fan of ECW old tapes and everything. And,
cool.
And it was great because then I got to meet Sabu and travel with him with the WWA, and actually pretty much room together sometimes. And it was a great experience, and I was a fan.
Yeah, Sabu is a good friend of mine, and that would have been great if we would have had you guys over there, man. We could turn one of you got to get another midget in there and make him the midget killer pit bull or something,
Yeah, there you go, brother.
Now, we just have a couple more questions for you. One of them was, what was your reason behind starting the Pint Brawlers? Of course, you touched down, saying that you guys were Bloody Midgets before that, but what was the reason for changing the name?
Oh, it was due to political correctness when we first started, because we were doing the in-demand pay-per-views, and in-demand didn't want the name. This is what took so long to get a major company. Everybody wanting to be so politically correct right now. And it scares networks, it scares, some people. And even in-demand pay-per-views said we need to change the name. So I had to really go back in and try to get a name that's not all cutesy, but kind of tells us what we're about. And since we do a lot of barroom brawls, we don't even have rings sometimes. We're jumping off the bars, tables, platforms. Just brawling in for these fans. That's what I'm getting ready to do in Houston. Kato and I are just doing a barroom brawl, man. And right on the hardwood floors, body slamming, suplexing, you name it, we're doing it. And that's just what I came up with, the Pint Brawlers. Everybody, liked the name, and then actually it helped my company. I think I get more attention off of that than the Bloody Midgets. I was really ticked off at the time, but now that after I've seen what it did and what happened with it, I'm kind of glad it did happen. But yeah, it all started with the in-demand pay-per-views. We had to change the name for that.
Yeah, I remember watching the in-demand pay-per-views. The one that sticks out the most was you guys going through a hall in a hotel with one of you guys drunk and falling off with a roll cart.
Yeah, that was Little Justice at the time, yep.
Yep, I remember
We're
that.
not only hardcore in the ring, we're hardcore outside the ring, my friend.
Now, what was your initial thought when you guys were offered the contract from Spike TV?
I was thrilled to death. We had a couple network, because what happened was the Lumberjack crew, one of the executive producers with him, saw us when he was in college. We've been at this for a while, and we were down in Louisiana doing a show, one of our local joints, and he saw the show, and it's always been in the back of his mind to do something. He called me up, said, man, we want to follow you on the road, we want to shoot a pilot, and we want to sell this thing. So I'm like, okay, I heard a lot of people, but he kept calling me, and I'm like, okay, this guy sounds like he's a hard worker. And he got a crew together. We put a pilot together, and we put an unbelievable, episode together. And we had a couple of networks talking to us, and I love what Spike TV was saying. They were going to put us right after the Ultimate Fighter. What better time slot can I get for that? And I thought Spike was a great network to fit along with what we do. And I was correct. This thing's working out real great, and I'm guaranteeing you're going to see a season 2.
That's awesome. I'm sure the fans are going to enjoy that. Now, what do you say to the critics who say Pint Brawlers is nothing more than jackass in a wrestling ring?
Well, what's wrong with that?
Very true.
Jackass has been around for 15 years. They're just finishing up their third movie, and they're saying we're nothing but jackass, but with a wrestling ring. Thank you. If that's an insult, that's a great. I just met Johnny Knoxville, man. He gives me a hug and says we're great. If you call me a jackass with the midget wrestling company, Thank you. Thank you for calling me that crazy. That's freaking awesome.
Now, what's a rib or a road story you can share with our listeners?
What's that?
What's a rib or a road story that you can share with our listeners that we haven't seen on the TV show?
Okay, I got one for you. We played a lot of ribs on Turtle. The actual very first time Turtle got on the road with us when we first started, I was taking some vitamins, right? My ex-wife has things called a water pill. Now, what a water pill does is it takes all your liquids out of your system immediately. Like for people that have maybe diabetes or something like that, and they gotta, they gotta pee a lot. They gotta get it out. Well, I put one of those water pills in Turtle's vitamins. So when he swallowed it, right before we get ready to leave for a tour, we act like we didn't, we're going to rib him because he's going to have to keep pulling over. Well, this thing, because he's so little, affected him so bad that he had to pee every 5 minutes. And he didn't understand why he's having to pee. So he's getting worried because he knows I'm going to get ticked off. But I'm telling him, dude, we got to go. And we all know. We're just laughing every time. So one time we were at the toll road in Illinois, and I had to pull over, and he had to run to the toll booth and then run to their bathroom because he's going to pee on himself. Well, of course, he ended up peeing on himself eventually because he can't hold it. And he doesn't understand what's going on. It's like he's apologizing to us. And I'm getting ticked off at him. I'm yelling at him, going, dude, you're not going to be able to tour doing this shit, And so, yeah, they never could. They didn't show that one on air, but I'm very proud. And then he never knew what we did until he saw the episode. He saw an episode before the pre-cut, and it was like a year-long rib.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so that was one of the best ones.
Now, you're the innovator of the $21 staple gun match. What is that match exactly, and what made you decide to start doing it?
Well, basically, I always say midgets are like strippers. I'm always trying to do something to shock people. And when we did the $21, it was kind of like I just came up with the number kind of like a blackjack or something, and whoever can get that 21, first would win the match. So the whole idea was to get the guy down and get as many dollars on him as possible, and then whoever reached that 21 won the match. It wasn't a pinfall, it was a $21 staples.
Oh, okay. Now, do you enjoy doing the wrestling part or the comedy and stunts more?
I enjoy it all. That's what I like to make this different. Just because I grew up with the background of so many different things. Trying to be the actor, doing the stuntman work, wrestling. Why not put it all in one and make a big fun show? That's one thing about the Half Pint Brawlers that makes us different, man. We don't got 18 guys, 20 guys to put on a 3-hour show, man. We got 4 to 6 of us. And we got to do a lot of different things to entertain the people, and make something different. Because I think they come in, they're not sure what to expect. So I think that's why I like the name Half Pint Brawlers. I'm not calling it a total wrestling company. We're just the Half Pint Brawlers. That's our brand, and I think that's what kept us around for 15 years. Because every time they come back, it's something different. And we got the stand-up. We got the jackass stunts. I got a midget male stripper. I got some great wrestling. I got it all. And I think it brings not only wrestling fans in, it brings other fans in because of all the craziness.
Now, one of our listeners in the chat room, the dude, would like you to expand on that. How are midgets like strippers?
No, I didn't say they're not. Oh, okay. Midgets are like strippers because if you give us $1 bills, we'll staple them all over each other's body for your long-legged pleasure.
Now, one last question I have for you is, what can fans expect out of the rest of the season of Half Pint Brawlers?
More craziness, better stunts, And our last episode is the most dramatic episode that we have. I had to come up with a 10 midget battle royal. So I had to go find midgets all over the nation, and there was a lot of drama there. I don't want to give too much away, but these guys, thought they were wrestlers, and I find out real quick how much talent they had. And I flew all these people in all over the nation out to L.A. It was my first big show in L.A. I wanted to make a great impression out there because I knew it was going to lead to bigger and better things. So you're going to really see the business side on the last episode with me. And you're going to get to see a 10 midget battle royal, man.
That's awesome. I'd like to thank you for coming on the broadcast today, and I want to tell all of our fans to check out halfpintbrawlers.com.
Yeah, make sure you check us out Wednesday night, 11 Eastern, 10 Central.